Saran wrap. There's actually a multitude, but we're gonna do 2 different ways. So if you have a chunk of Saran wrap, you wanna have 2 chunks. So, and you don't need a whole lot. You can probably do 4 squares with this amount. So tear it up gently and share it with people. You're gonna do 1 scrunched and 1 stretched. So we're gonna take a couple squares. I'm probably gonna do a square over here and a square over here. And we'll just do these on the edge to do this. And this is like, you wanna leave these alone and don't touch them after or it messes it up. So you can see how damp these are still. So this is really nice watercolor paper, so it's absorbing slowly. Where it's really thin like this, it's gonna dry really, really quickly. We want this again. This Saran wrap, we're gonna scrunch it and then you're gonna stick it on there. And then you try not to touch it. So if it moves like that, you've just smeared what you did. So you wanna get it nice and scrunchy and then you just place it and step away. So you need to have a lot of pigment to work with, a lot of color. So I'm gonna get a nice pool of green, get it on there, add a bunch of water. Might be better to use the bigger brush for this. Get a lot of color, like a swimming pool going on over here. And then, kind of get more to work with. Maybe some blue, just to make it look pretty. Okay, then I'm gonna scrunch this up in a way that I can work with. Just try to get some texture. And then kind of hold it out here, set it on there, and don't move it. You can see that it's pooling around and it's gonna dry like that. So when I peel it off, it's gonna look cool. So that's scrunched, and you're gonna do the same thing. I'll do this one down here. Get a lot of color to work with. You're gonna use stretched. So this can be texture on a fish, can be texture on rock, texture on coral, texture on whatever you want. This, I've had people do this as like the texture of their water in the background. So just kind of like pull it taut, if you will, and then just lay it across and get these like lines. So you can get really cool lines in the backdrop of your project if you want to. There's scrunched and stretched. Do 1 of each, please.